had a couple ideas for where's this sheet metal stuff, metal fabrication. So I had a couple ideas for, I guess I got throw this on, even though I look like crap. Whatever. What a day. Can I reach it from here? I don't think so. Nope. I can't quite get it. Nope. We'll just have to learn to live with it, I guess. It's too bright. Oh, that's annoying. All right. Maybe a little bit better. Something like that. I don't usually have it as big there. Maybe get this thing out of my face. Welcome back, geese. Welcome back. I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. And just goose just honking away, letting us know that the growing season is starting. So we can try and throw on some music. Coachella is live. Dark techno, cyberpunk, EBM. Okay. We could try that. YouTube music. Properties. This is gonna be this one here. Same executable. Should be good. Riddle. I don't have the browser anymore, I don't think. Will it still work? Damn. Some Doom shit. Let's try, I switched browsers to kill some of the ads and other bullshit that I was experiencing. Properties. There we go. How does that look? Does it look pretty much the same? Almost. Yeah, it looks pretty much the same. Alright. I don't know why I can't select that. Not even sure if that's actually, if we can even see it anymore. Let me look. Windowed. Yeah, I guess it's alright. I don't think I've ever listened to this genre before, so we'll see something about that. Good. Yeah, 42 followers. That's pretty cool. Very exciting. Okay. What am I doing today? I am just had some dinner. These are going to be just basic panels, I guess. I was going to have them like overlap 1, 2, 3, 4, but I think I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to just mirror this and we'll just have it one-sided. The reason being is once you complete the circle, it's a pain in the ass. It would be a pain in the ass to interlock these two things, and I think that's kind of the same thing. It's the same thing as I don't know where I was going with that. Kind of scatterbrained today. But I wanted to stream because streaming's fun. Chatting is fun. So these are 2 foot sections. I want to make these, I don't know, 1/8 inch or something. Let's make those an 1/8 inch. These are too big. Should only be like a 1/4. 0.25, maybe not even a 1/4. Yeah. Excuse me, that was a raspberry seed. Shit stuck in my teeth. Alright. Let's round off the corners. Because who wants not rounded corners? You might actually even be able to do the these ones here too, but I think I'm gonna do those at a different these are gonna be probably just 1/4 inch or something. Make it nice and easy. Nice and easy to assemble. And then I'm gonna put on, so something tells me just to leave a little bit of room in between these because I guess I really don't have to. And I'm just gonna put some joint origins in here. Merp. So these are kind of like blank panels to put on like whatever you want. So like if you needed a pretty big fire ring for whatever reason, you could stack these pieces. I don't know, you could have like 20 of them or something. I don't know. You can get 8 out of a sheet of steel, so 8 seems kind of appropriate. And kind of expensive at the same time, but it's more portable than a giant round thing. I'm sure there's lots of different versions of this. I am just exploring. So I'm gonna put some this on here. I don't want to ground it. What I do want to do is lift this up though. So say if you wanted 5, I shouldn't have actually done this yet. So let's do, this is going to come up to 6 inches. And it's just to make my life easier. So the center to center is 24 minus 4 is 20. So 20 inches. I keep doing this to myself. Did I mirror this? This should be less than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, good. Good. I was being nice to myself there. Beautiful. So if I go and look at any of the other things, then it'll be on center. So the idea of this, you can make these like, the patterns are pretty much whatever you want them. So this is just a I want to say proof of concept, but that's not right. It's just has to be current in order to do that. So what I have here is we could do, this is a basically a polygon, or whatever the sides are. So I can just horizontal or vertical this. The idea is that the lengths of the sides are always 20. So that's kind of how the layout is. I think I'm gonna do it on this side here instead. Just looks a little neater, nicer. And I suppose what's cool about this is that once I get just like one thing down to here, well, I only have to make two. So, and then I can double check on my clearances and stuff like that, which is one of the first things I want to do. And then I can figure out like if I like the look of this or not. It's a similar sort of thing. Oops. For this one here, except it's the other side. And it'll just be like a regular sort of idea. Flip. There we go. So ideally, these should not be touching, or it would be very close. So that looks about right. That's what I was guesstimating. So I remember a 1/4 inch needs 3/8, so on and so forth, as you start to twist down. So now that I have like this sort of idea, this isn't, this is kind of what I was going for. So on the next one, it's going to be down, next one's going to be up, next one's going to be down. When you go to put in the last one, so this one here should be down, so this will be up, this will be up, and then this will be up. So if I choose this one and a this one, and it's 3 around, then that's kind of the idea there. So drawing the sketch is only to, like, it's a sketch at the beginning for the polygon, and at their correct height is just to get this to be at the right level. So there's things that we could put on each one of these. You could put people's names, you can do all sorts of different stuff, but then they have to have an order, because one is this is down, or this one is up, this one is down, this one is up, you know, so on and so forth. And these are pretty easy to install. You know, you just do 2 at a time, sort of idea. You sit one down, and then you slide 2 on top of each other, and then those 2 need to be slid on top of each other. So it's not all that bad. It's pretty straightforward. And then the last one will be dropped in from the top, hopefully. Like that. Making this a little bit easier might have like a spike on one of them. So just like a drive a spike in, but then you can't use it on anything hard. Or you can, it's just maybe you need to take it off, or something that slips in there. Usually it's on something that's soft. Yeah, so 2 feet, 2 feet, 2 feet. We can edit the sketch here. Oops, I am at the wrong level. So just to get an idea of how big this thing is, on the inside, this is circumscribed, I think. Oh, I always forget the two things here. Where's the polygon? Inscribed is the inside, circumscribed is the outside. No, inscribed is contained, so a circle on the outside. Right? Yeah, circle on the outside. Circumscribed is on the outside. Or did I just say that wrong again? Shit, polygon. Circumscribed on the inside. Circle on the inside. Let this go around. Circumscribed. Inscribed. In and circumnavigation around the outside. Going around the circle. Inscribed within the circle. Makes sense to me. So just for reference, these fire pit sizes, one is 34 inches in diameter and the other is 40. So 40 is on the outside. So 34 is a good size fire pit. So if we wanted to take that down to, say, create another, this would be circumscribed polygon, because we want it on the outside, right? We can say, oops, not that one. This is going to be toggle driven. I want this to be 24. How big does this center to center need to be for for 6 panels? How big for 4? So like if you only wanted 4, you just have it 24 by 24, right? And if you did 3, I don't actually think this will work with 3. You need one that's backwards for 3. So firing plate same, and then one for opposite. So if you want a triangle, right? I'll just finish that sketch, we'll keep it there. So that's that idea. And this will flat pack up nice. So that's 6 layers at 1/8 of an inch. That is not light if these are solid pieces. So making these have a pattern is desirable. And even you can make these even thinner. And we can introduce some other things to it. So even if you wanted it solid, we could do it that way. Put a design and then a screen or something on it on the inside. It's kind of cool. Like you think about something like that, I guess. No. And then this is pretty basic for flat packing. You don't even really need to, like, if we wanted to have that as like a 16th or something, these would be a little bit more flimsy, but not not entirely. I would think that if you want something durable, it's going to be yeah, I guess it'd still work. Make it even thinner. The 1/8 inch is pretty robust. So we can explore some ideas here. It's just to so this is 6-sided 24-inch wiring. Firing plates. Yeah. So decently large. So don't save. So that's the original plate. We can do I'm going to set up another drawing where I can it's more parametric. Firing flat pack. So make this a little bit more adjustable. Okay, so we're going to start off with a design. We're going to do inches again. Inches is pretty straightforward. We're going to do a circle. Actually, before I get to that, start with some parameters because I'm gonna do some of these too. It doesn't matter. Do it all at once. So this is gonna be fire pit diameter is 24 inches. Right. So if I go into my stuff here, the favorites is going to be there, and it's going to be 24. And I can adjust this, right? 36. This one and this one adjusts. So leave that as 24 for now. And then we'll do this. So this will be circumscribed. I want this to be horizontal vertical. Oh no, not that one. This is this one horizontal. So I want this circumscribed. So no, inscribed. I probably got this wrong again. I'm trying to remember it. So inscribed 6 is to here, and then the other one inscribed. That's what I did, right? Inscribed is to here. Circumscribed is to here. Circumscribed is on the outside. Yep. Okay. And then these are going to be, this is going to be, hopefully I can do a reference dimension. Am I able to set these as reference dims yet? That's nice. So if I was to do this here, good, 36, good. Just kind of testing my stuff as it goes along. So, and then we'll have a height, which I'm gonna need to set here. Ring height. 12 for now. Salt water is getting gross. Right, so then I have a couple points that I can base a sketch and stuff off of. And there's going to be, there'll have to be like a little bit of logic in this, but if I do it in multiples of, as long as they're even, yeah, one of them has to be flipped over. So these are, yeah, these have to be even, and then an odd one. So if it's 3, 5, 7, 9, etc., they have to be. There has to be one panel that's flipped, just to do the end. That's okay. I can do that in another file, or maybe I can do that in another, like a logic. I don't know if I can do that with Fusion. I don't think I've ever tried that. We can try it. So yeah, for now. This was, is this sketched on the floor? It is. Okay. So there's a couple ways to tackle this. What I can do is, I can create the components later, or I can create the components now with the global stuff. I kind of like doing it later, like as an end sort of thing, especially when they're like this, because they're all the same. So regardless of what I'm doing, they're all going to be the same piece. They're just going to have a different orientation. So if it's 2, then it's 2. If it's 4, it's 4. If it's 6, it's 6. Like, it's always going to have, the order's always going to be the same. So it's like down, up, or up, down, up, down, up, down. It'll always go around like that. And I can do it the same way as the other. It's just that this component is inside and driven by the timeline in that way. So I think I'm going to keep all the sketches before the component and then do them afterwards, because I don't think I'll be using this in this particular one in a new yeah, and I think I should be able to get that anyways. from the I don't know if that'll actually work. I'd use the drive instead. Derive. Show dimensions. Side. Oh boy. Number of sides, is that in here? Or can I not parameterize that? Why did I do that? Num of sides 6. I don't think I can do that because it's more of a constraint, I think. Let's try it. It's not inches. Each quantity, nothing, no units. 6. Substance. No. If I change this, will the other thing change? No. Unfortunately. That would be pretty cool though. Now I could do that based on a pattern. I'd have to do it mathematically, I think. Alright, maybe that's just, I don't know. plus 0.125. So if I make it 3/8, it'll be, or a quarter inch, it'll be 3/8, etc. And then this needs to be plus 2. Right. So if I do 36, that should grow out. No? So why did that not update? Oh, because that one's still 2. Oh, that's weird. Where did this come from? And that doesn't exist in this one. There we go. So when we do new component, actually you don't even need to do a new component at this point, but we should anyways. It gives us the same, like, correct counts and whatnot. So if I was to make this and this 0.125, or thickness, sheet thickness, and actually do it correctly, so symmetric, and here no taper, right? I don't think that's going to work at 2, but we'll see. And then there we go. So similar idea as before. And then now it's, because I have just the one body, I could make that into a component and call that component fire, what do I call this? Fire ring flat section. And then just do another one. There we go. So everything stems out from this, and I could have done that with the other one too. But then it's driven by the diameter. So you want like a, I don't know, a 60-inch one, big, like 5-footer or something like that. Then these pieces need to be 30 inches, that's center to center. If it's a specific size, like 50, they're 25, 12, yeah. little small one. Another thing too that I like to do, I don't know if I can do this or not here. Height. So if I do, it's just like in with the sketch. I don't know if I'll be able to do this here. No. That's just individually to that one. Sometimes you can do, so everything, it's kind of like a dashboard almost. So just say I made like one of these and it said ring, just height equals 8. Okay. Right, so now I have something that's referenced. I can kind of fix it in place here. Fix on fix or whatever. So if I make it 12 or 4, that's kind of like lockdown. And then my parameters. This is backtracking. You can also change just the height of this. In this one is probably okay to do that. I'm just going to change the parameter so it's not too much different. Yeah. Screw it, I'll just change it. Show. HT, height. Right. So now I don't need 2 of these things open, I just need the 1. Sometimes looking at it like this, it doesn't really matter. So if I do 12, and then that's 12, this is 36, and then now I have my actual component, so that if I were to save that out, for whatever, 24, I could save this out as whatever, but it's internal. So the other way, if you wanted an externally linked one that references something inside the drawing, that's fine too. You just, whenever you go to create your thing, so like I'll just do a quick little demo for that. So you have your thing, and when you go to make this, so you can either do it now, oops, your new component, right? So you can do it like that, but this is still internal. The better idea is, if you want to have it external, this is where it's going to be done. You can call it, I don't know, plate 3 or something, right? And then it automatically goes into, you're modifying this within something. So where do you want it? It's in here, right? So you have to work within its own sort of system, or if you want its local coordinate system, you have to change that in your file. So just do a quick something here. So, and remember, this is in metric because it's its own thing now too. And see how this is it's highlighted, but it's not quite the same, right? So 24 inches, 12 inches. Right. So finish edit in place. And now I have to take this and place it wherever I'm doing, if I want this to not match the same UCS. So, and for these, if I just turn this on and turn the origin on, that's also there. But now you see how they're all, so they would be flipped around, and then on the other piece they're all in what we call like world coordinates. And it's world coordinates of this instance as well, because now I'm changing, like, so because I copied this over, this coordinate system is now upside down and it's over here. Right? So you have to keep that in mind. So if you wanted something that's nice, like 0, 0, then you have to kind of design it that way. So, but this piece is now an externally linked thing to this. But I can, like, for the assembly context, it does like a save. Like, so when you save it, writes all these things. So at this instance, from this version of this file, I'm getting this length from this piece, and then that's in that version, and so it just creates this big, nice log file. Like, where do I get this information? So that's the context. Lots to learn about that, holy moly. Yeah. So I'll just go backwards from that, because I don't think I really want that. Not for this particular thing anyways. So had I saved it like that, it would have created a new file in the fire ring template, firing plates folder, and yeah, I would have had another thing. Right on. We could probably call this like standard, and then there's going to be an opposite one. Copy firing plates. Oh, yeah, and if you were to do all of the drawings and everything too, it has linked drawings, stuff like that, it would also copy the drawings. Like if you made that select box, and all the drawings come in as a copy itself, so, which is very handy when you're creating, well, like you have a template item and you're like, okay, I need to create this, but it's like 3 inches longer or something. So you take a whole thing, drawings and everything are all copied over. You change the 3 because it's a new instance of that thing. Change the 3 inch, you save it, and then you can go into each drawing and then update the drawing. Maybe you can update them all at once now, I don't know. That'd be cool. And then you can resave out your drawings that are changed, like that has that one dimension that's changed, or a bunch of other things. Or you can say even like there's a new feature, well, new to me anyways, or newer. I haven't used it yet. It's the it's like a variation. What do they call it? Configure. So there's a bunch of different things you can configure. Oh, cool. It's like a option set almost for your components. So while you're in configuration mode, click the highlighted objects in the browser and features in the timeline to configure. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. Configured options are added to the configuration table as columns where you assign different values per configuration. Yeah, I don't know nothing about that yet, so I ain't gonna do none of that. Configure the whole thing. Configure. Yeah. So that's kind of that. That's 24 inches in diameter. I want to do one that's a little bit on an angle. That was one of the ideas here that I wanted to do with this, the adjustable one. So I'm going to save a copy of this. Save as angled. Should be a new one in there. And then now, when I do this, I'm not going to go full. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe like 120, right? So these aren't going to really be, they're not really going to match up, I guess, perfectly. So let's do, let's edit that sketch, and we can kind of see where everything's going on here. So this is not correct. Delete. It's you. I think it was the middle one, yeah? Or is it both? So sketch line, I'm going to try and get rid of these. The best I can anyways. Because, well, that line is actually correct, but the other one, what made this not right? So what's holding it at that height? Actually, I don't remember. I gotta go and take a look at the other one. So this one here was at, excuse me, this is at the edge, and this was right at the middle. So these is correct, but what's making this piece all the way down? What's driving that? So this is okay, I gotcha. Okay. One, is it this one? That one? It's gonna be that one there. Isn't it? Why not? Why is this constrained? There we go. So this should actually be constrained to here, not to this, not to that center point. That makes more sense to me. And and actually to the middle as well. Like so. So similar idea, but these slots are not going to be the same. I would be very surprised. So see how kind of they changed a little bit? So the interaction between these plates is different now. And see what the other interaction is? Because this is not constrained correctly. Now they should be, it should be the same still, but they're not going to be straight up and down. So, for the time being, we're going to do that. And then, yeah, that's fine. We might even be able to just to get rid of that for now. Delete. And then we're doing a reference to this one, but these are not going to be the same, I don't think. So I think these will be different parts for an angled one. So just in order to get this to go correctly, I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to delete this one as well. And that should be on the center line, which it is still. And we're going to pattern these around 6 like we did before. Right. And now we're left with little itty bitty at the top and big bitty at the bottom. So contemplated whether I want to do it this way or not, because there's 2 ways to do this sort of thing. So one is a 3 sketch, or 2 sketches, or 3 sketches rather, and other is the way I'm doing it right now. So the way I'm doing it right now is probably not correct. Like, it's okay, but it's trimming down what this thing actually is. So what yeah, this one's gonna be a little bit more of a kind of a pain to do. Le pain. It is a direct method though. Let's do 10, just so I have lots of room roughly of where these go. Actually, no, what's really interesting is that this can be also drawn. So beforehand. So no, remember how I had this? Well, I can make another one right beside it. That also has that. What did I say it was? 120? It's amazing. Right. So now I can do a axis through where is it? 2 planes. So there's that. And this is nice because it gives me some construction geometry to work off of that I can mirror in each direction and all that. Because now I know where those 2 planes are intersecting. I can give everything a thickness, right? See kind of where I'm going with this? So it's like, how do I build this thing before I even start creating stuff? Yeah, and that's kind of the idea. So if you think of it logically like that, so see how I have this 12 mil? Well, how come I can't just project this point, this axis, and now I have something on my drawing, in my sketch, right, that I can actually use. So instead of this, and unfortunately this is no longer required, and I can say, I can even offset this. What did I use before? 2? So now I have like an actual thing to use. And 90 degrees. And get rid of all this. Turn off the other one here. Not gonna need that anymore. I will need that. This is going to be a symmetrical constraint, top and bottom, because I still want the middle. The middle is still important to me. This is heights. Right. Realm. You can keep that constraint in there. It's just going to be part of that. And then because these are symmetrical, I'm actually not going to do that yet. So let's do that sort of idea here. Still gonna do point, what was this thickness? Plus 0.125? Yeah. I guess I don't need that one. I have a whole line. There we go. And if this is just above the center line of that, or it could be right on, I'm just going to put it above, or it could be this bottom line, but I'm just going to do, I don't know, 0.125 or something. Just so that's a little bit above. Now I have a whole profile. This plate's going to slip into another plate that's the opposite of this one. So it'll have its thing at the top. And actually, if we think about that, if this is going the other way, this will be exactly the same, right? So we don't really need to draw all of this again, but maybe we should, just for funsies. This is the center. This is horizontal, vertical. That looks good. So let's extrude this. Extrude. Set extrude 0.125. And this is going to be symmetrical and total. One. And then we're going to just create the other side of this. No, not lofts. Mirror. This is the body. This is the plane. And we're going to join. So now we got this crazy looking shape. Right? So this one's going to go here and here and here. And then the other side, just so we can kind of see what that looks like. Just going to do another quick. We're going to do bodies this time because this is just a body. So it's the 3, 6. So you kind of see how that looks like there. And we can sort of see the interaction between these two. And we can see, is that in the correct location? Is there enough space in between? Do I need to go off to one side? So there is an interaction because of the thickness here. It seems like it's to the one side a little bit. So if this was dead on, and that's just because it isn't cut on an angle for that. So like I was saying before, there's going to be another one that this is based off of that needs to be moved all the way around. So we can do the one, we could do another sketch that's on here because we have all the stuff still. So there's the body. And the mirror and all that. So if we were to just turn the body off, keep the sketch on, or actually turn on this other stuff. Here's the other plane that we need to do. We can do that one. We need a center point for this. Or we could just use that. Maybe that's just as good. And a center point. Relationships will be the same. And we're just going to do the same. So this one here, this one here, horizontal, vertical. This one is going to be in the center. Center to center. This is the height. Yeah. So this one has an offset. Turn this off. -2. We could actually save that offset as well. Yeah. And make sure that's parallel to that. This is coincident to here. This is thickness, sheet thickness plus 0.125. We're going to see if that actually works or not. Maybe it won't work. I don't know. And this is 0.125 above. Oh, so I drew backwards. My bad. Easy fix. This is how I delete the constraints really easy. You don't have to do it this way. Alright. So that's the other way around. Still works. Okay, so that's the other way around. Center on the other side looks good. 0.125. Symmetric total. So now I have the body one, the first and second bodies here, and they should be good. They probably don't even actually need that much gap. And if we look at them on like this, maybe they actually need just slightly more. Right, that's the interaction we're looking at. So show dimension and show dimension. So in this direction, you can make one base the other as well. And then we could say plus, we'll just add a 32nd onto that. And this one could actually be based on the other one. And let's take a look at it really quick. Or we can just look at the end of it. So as long as we see a little gap both sides, that means they're not going to bind. We don't want them binding. Not even a little bit, but they will bind slightly. This is with eighth inch as well. And if we see like from the front and all that, we know that they're going to sit flat. So these will actually sit flat. It's kind of cool. It's got a neat look to it. Right on. Okay, so we did that one. Now we can do the mirror. The mirror. We're going to do this one and the plane. It's going to be there. We're going to join that up. Now we have two that we can go around with. First, we can play around with these a little bit. Now what's interesting is that sometimes we go back or forward a little bit. Sometimes not. We'll see. No, won't let us go that way. And won't let us go that way. So before I do these, because they're symmetrical, I can get away with doing half of the picks. So we're going to do one. And then another one. 0.25. Like a so. And maybe even some other stuff in here. I just want a little bit of roundedness for the so for strength and for the speed of laser cutting. All right, so then we can just because we're doing the bodies, everything gets copied over on these two. So this is a good spot to do patterning stuff like, or just before the pattern happens, putting a pattern on the plates. Also make a component from this, and you make a component from that. Call it whatever we want here. Top, I guess. Panel top, panel bottom. We can grab this one as well. And yeah, Do components, both these guys, and there's the axis, and there's 3 sets of those. Blam. It's a beautiful thing, ain't it? So this is, I think, maybe like a little bit nicer of a project. What's even more nicer is putting a bottom on it, and then also a grate, so we can think about that as well. Oh man, that's really bad tasting. It's actually getting pretty dark in here. I didn't notice because I'm looking. I didn't really notice because I'm looking at a screen. Is my it doesn't look so bad still. It does look a little bit bad. All right. So we're gonna save this because yeah. So let's do a bottom, a top, and then like maybe a grate or something like that. Kind of Cybertrucky. Need to jump on that bandwagon. So I don't know if you've ever seen anybody use an axis like that, like for sketch geometry, but that's kind of how I do that. If I'm not mistaken, I think you can also just intersect the plane for that as well. So you don't actually need to have the axis. Yeah, so it'll still project in. There we go. And then if you move the plane or do whatever else, then it'll still come in. Show you the axis there. So yeah, there's that. Now let's do, so just set this on here. If we have something at fixed size, it's just gonna sit on it. Now we can make the pieces have some sort of cutout at the side here. So I'll just show you what I mean. So let's do a so this was done in the center. Let me do a bottom edge. So 5. And then this whole thing all the way to the top. So yeah, 10 inches, 10.4 roughly. Right. So if this was I don't know, 2 inches up or something, maybe 1.5. 1.5 inches up, and then this was maybe like minus 0.5. So pretty much like right at the top. Seems like a lot of planes, but this is kind of what we get here. I'm gonna make this larger so we can see. You can see the overlap there. And I'm gonna do the same for the big time here. And you can see the what we have here as well. Maybe I'll do it an inch down. 1. Inch and a inch. Inch and a half. Or 2 or something. So let's do the bottom one first. We do an intersect. go. I only want the face. These faces. And that'll give me all the intersection points. Right? And this should be dead on to this. So if I was to say I want this to be here, you to be here, and you to also be on this one, it should lock into that size. So that's kind of what we're after there. And now we have something that we can, and that was basically for checking. Because we only need just, I think, the one. Yep. Did this give me more than what I wanted? Yeah, it did. Alright, I'll just leave them and everything in there. So intersects you. And the other way, parallel. Blam. Okay. So if I just want this to sit in there, what do we have to do to this piece? So because it has to sit on something, right? And we just want like a hole to kind of sit in there. So either we do something in the corners, or we could do something in the flats, or we could do something like right through the corner. Right? So if we look at this on the top, we want this to sit on there. What would we do if this was larger? Right? So see, it kind of like it goes up, but this is on an angle. So down here is going to be like, it's going to sit nice. But if this is larger, like if we had something that stuck out here, maybe something like that could be stuck into here, and we could just have like a slot, and wherever the slot ends up, that's just kind of how it sits. All right. Excuse me. When this is all together, we just, when we put this piece on the bottom, we kind of just want it to sit in there nice and flat. And that's something that we could, you know, light the fire on. And it won't burn the ground, or won't burn the pavement or whatever else. And then keep all the stuff relatively like contained. Like that's the idea. Yeah. Right. So we could say, how big is this thing actually? So 18, or is it 16? 16,337. I think that's okay. Yeah, 18. That's fine. So 16 across the flats. It's a strange number. If we did like an even number, it would just sit like slightly lower, which we actually totally can do. So there's actually another way to do that. Okay. So let's go with let's do like an even number sort of idea. So we'll delete all the stuff after history marker. I'll just do a thing on here at the top. We'll say we actually want one that's 16 across the flats dead on. That's just what we signed up for, right? And that's just where it ends up sitting. So that's constrained in space. Now, I want to yes. Okay. So this I can make as a new component. Profiles. We'll just call that 1/8 inch, I guess. Base. You can label these things as you go along too. It is somewhat ideal to component first and then go after. There's other stuff in the program. If you're going to do machining and stuff like that, it's you want to do everything in its own component. So more of like what do they call that? I'm pretty sure that's top down, and what I'm doing is bottom up, or no, or the other way around. I always forget this stuff. I use it so infrequently. Anyways, so how do we know where this is supposed to be at 16? So good thinking, because we want to put that in position, right? And then we want to make sure that when we go to use that, it's actually going to work at 16. So we can experiment with this a little bit, actually. So use a joint, and you can joint it to wherever you want. You just do it to here for shitties and gigglies, and then move this down until it interferes, or until you don't want it, like wherever you think that that's correct. So if you were to go all the way down to here, you would see this is 5227, and you could say +1, and it'll bring it up an inch, and then you have this interference here. So is that enough interference? Is that like where we want the interference? Stuff like that. I don't really care for that. So let's do, because we have a sketch, we should be able to, project to a surface. And we just select all these surfaces here. We're going to do along a vector, which is the z-axis, and then we're going to select all those curves and then hit OK. And the projection link is there too. So if I change this size, this will also change. Right? Yeah. So now we have an actual spot where we have these. And that's 16, that would be to the bottom now of that. And that's pretty much a perfect fit to these. So let's do, what was I saying here? 16. Oh yeah, we're gonna do joint. Derp, 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 derp. Okay. So in order to get that, we can make a plane at an angle, right? Which is flat, or it should be. Even better yet, sometimes you can do like a 3-point. So if you know that this is relatively straight, 1, 2, 3. And from the old AutoCAD days, you would say the x-axis is, you know, the first 2 pick points. And then you can, right here, you can make a point or a joint origin. And now you have somewhere to actually like put this thing. Like just direct. Right? And that should be perfectly at that level. So if you were to inspect it, Secchioni analysis, right, you would see that's right at that edge. So we have a condition in the corner where we want something to, we want to set this in the corner really nice or something like that. Hey, welcome to the stream, miscellaneous chatter. What do I want to call you? Yeah, I'll keep you up for like another 5 minutes or another minute. We'll see. Usually I delete them right away, but feeling generous today. Feeling generous. Damn. I don't even have my stuff on here. My controls. Really? Mod icons? Oh, there they go. Isn't that nice? Chat settings are all in one spot. That's wonderful. All right. Oh, that's nasty. So, what can we do in the corner there? To like, it's not going to go down any further. So the only idea is that do we really want this to tip in like one direction or another, or can we make it so that when this sits in there, it actually sits on something that's like hard and positive? And that's kind of the idea. It's not going to go down any further because it's a cone, right? So it'll kind of like sit in there, like as it's like it'll just like kind of sit in there. We can make the edges a little bit bigger, so I want to explore that because it's a we made this into a thing, right? Yeah, we did. We can edit this just by itself. See the corner here? We could do like a circle, maybe something like that. I don't know. It doesn't even have to be that big, maybe an inch or something. So we could put like a whole circle on here, and then how far would that come up? So it doesn't really even need to be that high. So if it's even just a flat, would a flat look nicer? Let's do one of these. This is what I call the the centering sort of idea, but it's like the makeshift. Oops. I'm on you. So we're only going to be an inch wide, maybe. Going to put that right in the center. And see, that gives me a little bit of room here, maybe a ½ inch. And this is going to be symmetric between these two items. Well, crap, you didn't. What? What are you guys even talking about? I'm talking about, it gives me a friggin' drawing thing here. Silly. Oh, man, Fusion, you're killing me. Killing me, Smalls. So usually you can do a symmetry between that. I just didn't like it for whatever reason. So we can do a piece that juts out like a ½ inch, and just to look at that, how far up the corner does that go? So because there has to be a clearance here. So, and then that clearance is going to be like a slot all the way down to this level. That idea. So we have to take a look at that. Like I was saying, it doesn't even have to be very big. Maybe even a ½ inch is probably okay. And all that does is just like, it just tips the corners, and prevents it from falling down any further. It just kind of like sits in there. We can have it come out like this and go straight across and then back 90 if that looks nicer too. So I just did it this way for the shitties and gigglies. 0.375. Like 3/8 is it's really small. Like it's like a fingernail width. Pretty crazy. 0.75. Something like that. And that's what the corners of all these are going to look like too. So are we better off just doing a circle? Because the circles kind of look neat. I'm gonna go with the circle first. See what this. See if this tickles my fancy. We're gonna execute. One side, two objects, join. Turn off the sketches. And just gonna round this off so it doesn't look so bad. Now these little ends here, these little pointers, they kind of look neat. Going in like that a little bit. 0.125, or we can make the like slope her out a little bit. One, and one. And then we can do features, these two. Six. Boo, I forgot. 6. Features, U and U. It's probably going to be optimized. Why? Why do you do this to me? Come on, man. Horse crap. don't like doing it this way. Sometimes it doesn't want to do stuff, you know, when you do that. So we got these like little jut outs in the corners. They look okay, sort of. They're not as square as maybe what we want, but go from there. So now that we have this thing, we only have to, I'm just going to do this quick subtract on here. So this, the target body is going to be the first one. Can I even do it to this one? So here, and it's going to subtract that. Gonna keep the tools though. Whoa. Try that again. Right, that's the one. I'm gonna do it to the next one too. So what do we get? So if we isolate this, what is that? What does this actually look like? So there's the bottom. Top. At an angle. Okay, there we go. Top on the outside. There we go. Camera angle screwing me up here. So we have this big cutout. That's what we actually need. When the base sticks in here like that, this needs to be that clear. So when this sits in here, like this is the foundation, I should say. So the other thing we could do instead of that, this is probably the better way. We go from the bottom and we just go up like that. But we choose which ones we want to cut out, and this is the way here. So we didn't cut the main body out, so we still have that thing on the bottom. And then now we're left with what these look like. So, and this is pretty much like straight up and down, but it gives us an outline of where we need to cut. And then this is like kind of perfect for each one. And it's at that level. So if I was to change turn this off, let's do, do we have an unisolate all? Yeah, okay, there we go. Just take off the base. And this is kind of what we have here in the corner. Right? So it's going to stick in that far. That's what we want. That's full clearance all the way up. Now for each one of these, that's what that looks like. So because it's being laser cut, this should just go through like as a flat pattern. So if we look at that as a flat pattern, so this is top panel, yeah. And we could say, okay, do this edge here. And if we want to be sure about it, we can also do the bottom, but we see that the bottom is not as big as that. So if we want to make this simple, we also want clearance. So we want, I don't know, not the bottom though. The bottom is like kind of set in stone, and it actually should be on this back side. See how it's like that? Oh, I'm sorry, because it's like this, it's on the front side. So this one here, which is correct. Let's do this to here. And turn the body off. The body's hit the floor. And we're gonna do this one here as well. Sketches. Turn them bodies off. You boys better clean that shit off them boots before you come in here. Just gonna delete this because we don't need all this other shit. Okay. Blam. So we have an idea of like where this is, like how this would connect. You can even do this before you do the other things. So like the other slots, so that this is continuous if you want to do it that way. Totally cool. It's probably a nice idea to do that. We could just do that. It's probably the easiest way to do it. Because there's curvature. And we're just going to offset these, but we're not going to chain the selection. Like that. I don't know. Maybe 1/8 of an inch negative. Something like that. And these should all be at the same level, which is the reason why I'm doing this. And to here. This just gives it extra clearance for the other, and then we could actually do something like that, and then this would be here too. Ooh, I don't know if that's gonna do that or not. It's all really compoundy. That's too much. I'm being a dum-dum. It's like, where do I cut this off so that it stays the same? So as it's coming down, 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 maybe like here. Right. I don't know. There's like a line. And that works just as good too. It depends on how you want it to look. Technically, these should be symmetrical. So if this was the center, right? Let's get rid of that just for a second. Mirror. Yeah, looks good to me. So now that we have these two things here, we can cut this body again. Right? I'm going to do symmetric, at least like that. And we're left with straight through cut. Right, something like that. And then we could just turn on the base plate and have a look at it. See if we like how that actually looks. As far as that goes. So this isn't really even necessary. Let's turn on the other one here too. I don't know if I even like that. It seems like it's pretty big. Does look like it's doing the job though. very roundy. It's like, it's weird looking. You know what I mean? So you put this thing on there and it's like, okay, well now it's round on the bottom. It's just kind of funny looking. And it goes back to saying, like, do you even need that? Right? So, and it's really nice to have a timeline. You could just undo all that stuff and see, like, do you actually like it? It's gonna sit in there just fine. And yeah, you probably actually even wanted to round these corners off just slightly, because that center line for these, yeah, it's fine. You might want to put like a honeycomb look on the bottom, or something like that. Maybe just even a center hole so you can go to grab it real easy, or a handhold, something like that, or nothing. Same with all of these, really. So like maybe all of these need like handles on the ends. How are they organized? So do you have like a system where they all fit together? Because they're all the same shape. They're just, there's three backwards that are there's three forwards and there's three backwards. That's all. To this idea. And then the top piece, how big do we want our grill? So I'm going to get rid of all that and say we have a bottom piece that fits in there just nice. And then we could do a grill on the top. And you know, it's similar idea here. Across the flats, we want 36 or something. Or we could just we could actually like measure it. It's like how far down from the top do we want? Oh geez, I got it done. 30. Yep. 28. 26. 24. That's the design, right? 24. Yep. And then look how far down that is. So it's 25. Yeah. So 25 is about right, I would think. And same thing again. Just do another sketch. I'm going to project to surfaces. Projects. No, project to surface. Surface, because we can choose the vector along the vector. And the direction. We can choose any one of these too. Curves. Faces. What do you want it to project to? I'll just select all of them again for funsies. And the curves. All of those. Right. So just get rid of the ones we don't need. Same thing again. We could do the 3-point or just like a single. Sometimes that's easier. Sometimes it's better actually. So we'll just go to an object, endpoint. And now we know it's at that level. So, right. Let's put a point there. And if we were to create .125 again, new component, just call that grill, something like that. Move it out of the way. And then that's the level that it'll be at on the bottom. That's the size it's going to sit in there at. And we might actually want it to sit up a little higher, a little bit higher than that. What's actually kind of neat too is if you get it big enough. So a grill size, should have mentioned. Let's go 20. So everything in the timeline is going to redo itself after this level. So we go 25.5. It'll move up a little bit, and the drawing will move up. Like the component will move up too, because the offset is also based on where this thing is. So notice how it created all the stuff again after I deleted it. So that's the reason for that, because it's doing that action over again. Right. 26. Maybe that's actually a little bit nicer looking. So, yeah. We do that. And then what would be a cool looking grill for this sort of thing? Or maybe this is just the ring, and then we can have a, what do you call it? A bunch of wire, I guess, welded wire. So that's the grill plate here. Doing it with a continuous flat piece would be pretty wasteful, but we're doing this one here too. So let's do opacity 40. So we would have, like, depending on how far we came out. So if it came out like an inch or something, or even 2 inches, we don't have that much waste. So maybe we could do, so between the two, that outline could be where this thing sits on there or something like that. That would be kind of neat. So then use the outside ring for the grill. That middle ring is like maybe something to go around the bottom here. Or that sits in the bottom. So it kind of gives it like some stability, and then that bottom piece goes on top on the outside. But that would be sitting, yeah. And then it would go on the outside. That's not all that bad of an idea. So we have the drum. This is quite large. Quite large for a grill. Well, I shouldn't even say that. So 30 inches is a big grill, but it's not enormous. You know, it still fits through a doorway, so it's not really that big. It's big enough. I shouldn't say that. It's big enough. You could cook a lot of burgers on this thing. Yeah, that, or it's like this is the dome that fits on top of the piece. So you could have yeah, so that could be the top. So imagine this was like a screen material or top, or this is like a solid top. It has like could be have like a handle on it or something like that, and then all the sides of this that would be beveled, maybe the same, something like that. Maybe we don't want to go any further than that. That's pretty straightforward. This could be, can we cut this in half maybe? So that it stays the same size as the other, or a little bit smaller, or nothing. Nothing at all. Right? And that was the original idea for today. So, yeah. All right. So just a couple ideas that I wanted to do with that today. So give that a save. I had a giant list of stuff that some brainstorming that I went through. This was one of those things. Some patterns to make and give away. Where are we at here? Is it metal fab? I think it was the sheet metal one. Yeah, so the fire pit, we could probably call that done. Camping stove, foldable picnic table, Yeah, that would be pretty crazy. A full picnic table. I think those things exist, right? 'Cause they definitely exist, like going from like chair to table. Like just like collapse it down, throw it in the back of the truck idea. Yeah, I don't know. Well, we have the bottom. We could keep the bottom. We just don't even need to show it. And then if we want to do the grill, so we have. I'll just make this. Where's the top? I'll make this so that it's. Maybe wire all the way around, because I could use this as a template. So that's the hard outside is at the bottom. So if I went in, let's see here. How far do we want to go in? Can I double click this? Yep. We're going to go in negative. Are you connected? Oh, I guess not. Usually the double click works. How big's the wire for this? Let's do 3/16. So negative 0.81875 divided by 2. So we get center lines for that. Pipe. The pipe command is just so awesome. 1875 diameter. 1875 is probably a little bit too small for this size of grill. It's probably going to be like a 1/4 inch, really. Be pretty substantial. You had some heat to stuff, but I think there would be like in the middle. There would have to be some sort of plate. You might even want that too, depending on what it is. Like you could have like a whole divider that goes right down the middle, so you have an offset burn. That's actually a really good idea too. You could set that up right now, so it has an offset burn. Sometimes you'd want to have that like adjustable too, though, so it's a little bit more. Yeah, we'll do the 3/16 for now because that's fairly substantial. Let me just go all the way around. 1875. New body. My body. Oh, am I building this in the wrong? Oh, I am. Horses patoot. Did I do the sketch there too? You dumb. Leave me alone for like 2 minutes. There we go. Do the pipe again. New body. 1875. So at least that's should be. Oh no! Did I do it? It's not in the right position. So let's do. Yeah. Technically be on the radius, right? If that was 60. Oh, I gotta give my brain a moment here. Running out of water. All right. I'll figure it out here. Just draw it. That is way too big. Housekeeping. Housekeeping? What kind of hotel is this? Control I. That is not the right one. In the other way. Yeah, that's hurt. Or, you know, I could just do that. My brain sometimes. Kind of sounds like head splitter. Corpo. Somebody rip somebody else off. It kind of sounds like it. And then going through here, because that is where I'm determining this is, which is not correct. I'm basing it on here. I want the wire to be and I want some tangency to you, and that's where I have to put that mark, and that is that far away, or 104. One, two, three. No. Deletes. Deletes. Edit feature. Snap to the 5. Manage lost projections. Intersects. Everything else is good. Okay. And I'm going to project that point because that's where I want it. Turn that off. Now I should be able to... Didn't I project this whole thing? That's not right. Who did a herp derp here? Bottom. Project. There we go. Project. Select those offset. And it's going to be negative D105. Is it 105? Ah. Don't I have... It's 1875. Oh, it's not there. Bummer. Edit. And between you and you, it's 108, but I want this. Yeah, 105. It's probably one of 4 before. Okay. I just want to project this. Can I project it, or do I have to do the weird offset thing? So that would be fantastic. -1. Still there? Great. Committing the cardinal sin. And it took it. Great. Excellent. So if I did this to like, 1 inch or something, great, moves in. Perfect. 1, and it's always going to be tangent to that angle. That's what I want. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful, Stephanie. And I need to go back into this sketch and make that. Oh no, I'm piping it. Never mind. Never mind. You make sure that's of no consequence, and pipe over here, new body, and that should be more precise to where that is. Wonderbar. Yeah, that looks good to me. So I'll probably do like a spine down the middle here. Could do it like a big star shape. I'm wondering if that might even be beneficial. Be weird to like grill or barbecue on. All right. Gonna do another. Oops. Is that is that on the top or on the bottom? Oh, that's at the bottom. Sick. All right. Let's do that then. Turn off that body, turn this one on. It's going to be this one here, I would think. So these are center lines. That's kind of what I'm going for. So I'll just project that out. Turn off the previous one. So we could work on our layout just in here. Center bar verticals, or we could do wavies. Wavies are kind of fun. If we did a wavy, let's do middle to middle. And then this is pretty much going to be like symmetrical, so we could do kind of whatever these are. It's not going to work good as soon as we get to here though. And then maybe up here we could do it like a wipe across. That would be interesting. not even that difficult either. So just find that center point. So then that's kind of the idea behind that. We should all go across. Right. Oops, wrong wavy. Can we do center to center? Yep. And I'm going to do perpendicular U to U. And I don't know, 8. Six sounds okay. So we'll get like a little bit of it from here to here, and then as it goes across, it should be good. And then this polar should be 60. Yep, beautiful. Okay, let's do the wavy up here. Pipe. New body. So still 3/16. This should probably go up a little bit, maybe to quarter. Actually, I think I am going to do the quarter. I have quarter on mine, I think. It's quarter or 5/16. It's pretty big. So there's that. And then polar array. I don't know. Oh, did I join it by accident? No, new body. It's selecting the thing for some reason. Oh, it's faces, that's why. Let's do bodies. U. Axis. Oh, I didn't make an axis. Like a horse's patoot. 3D. Stick it, make sure it's actually 3D. And then just snap it like so. This can be another line there. Bodies, axis, select body, partial. I only want it to be 60. Where's my thing? -60. And how many do I want? I should have overbuilt this too, by the way. Could do a spacing. That just looks so friggin' cool. Doesn't it? Okay. So this curve up here needs to be a little more I don't think there's any way around that. It's gonna get larger as it goes out. Yeah, they're not gonna be parallel. That's a problem. We gotta look at the sunshine, and it's not even all the way down here further enough. Blah 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 blah. $25. The trouble with that, like to get it perfect is just... That was actually a pretty cool like way to think about things, but it's just not. I don't know. This is why you have to try stuff out. All right. Let's redo this here again. Actually, I'm just gonna undo this shit because I think I had it all drawn once before. Yeah, I did. Look at you. Look at you, handsome man. 6. Get out. There we go. This is just going to be a pipe. I'm going to do that one first. New body. No, it's the wrong size. I changed the size in here too, didn't I? 0.25. No, that's how you kill the program. So bodies all the way around. It's good. Pipe. Quarter. This is still going to be new body. 0.25. I changed that one to 0.25, right? Yeah. It's gonna be heavy as shit. That's all I know. Made it of stainless or something. What's we got here? Okay. Another pipe. We're gonna do this squiggle fest just because we want to. This is also gonna be new body. I'm not gonna do the cutting. I have to do all the cuts separately anyways. Okay. And now, what the hell? Why is that? There should be nothing there. Okay. Got me weird there. Bodies. Axis. I want the spacing to be 0.05, and I want like, I don't know, 40 of them. Symmetric. Wow, look at that. That was a good guess. Like a really good guess. 39. Yeah, I can live with that. That's pretty dope. Okay. Now, Garzi. Oh my god, look at all this stuff here. Okay, well, it's not that big a deal, right? So, remember how I had center lines? No, that's fine, dude. Check this out. It's totally okay. My little tricks. Actually, this doesn't need to be there. Do. Right. Schmerp. That's an awful lot of cuts all at once, isn't it? Made an awful lot of bodies. But that's kind of like how it should look. As long as I didn't cut the originals. Oh, did I? Boo. Hang on. Hold, please. No. I forgot to turn off the original bodies. Cancel. I screwed it up. Okay, so I got all these. I should put them in a group actually, but so the original bodies are just number 1, are number 3 and 4. So we're just gonna turn those off. I got like really quick here. And I shouldn't have actually done that. Should have done this. So then I don't have to select all this shit. It just takes just a little bit of time here. I'm doing the wrong ones. Oh my goodness. Okay. I said. So all we're looking for is the inside, and the outside we don't want. Right, so we select all this stuff here. It's all the outside that we're cutting, but not the original shit, right? So now you do the symmetric, I don't know, 20. And it's gonna cut all those, but the original ones are off. This is when it helps to actually start naming things. Yeah, really helpful. You could leave these all bodies. It's not a big deal. Totally not a big deal. So these are all cut, all nice. Look, we have an origin point. The origin is right at the middle. Guess what we can do here? We can flip these around, right? If that looks okay. Sometimes it doesn't look right. So we're going to try that. Select the bodies here. Whoa. No. Sometimes it's easier to do selection beforehand. So we have bodies. Right. Select the mirror plane. Use that one. Oh, that looks rad. That looks pretty cool, actually. Okay. Oh man, it's playing with my brain a little bit. Okay. So we'll do suppress those features just for a minute, and then we're gonna do a move copy instead here. Change the pivot to the center. We could turn these bodies off so it doesn't get in the way. Right there. Hit OK. 180. Ah, what are you telling me here? Can I not do multiples anymore? Start. Set my pivot. Turn all that stuff off. Come on. Oh man. Okay. Create a copy. There's a bunch of stuff in there. And now I'm just gonna, because it's symmetrical, if I bring it to the other side, it looks like a giant continuation of this. And that looks much better. Well, I think anyways. That would be a shed load of work. Holy moly. Right. Is that like all one level? The smart thing to do would be just to have these continuous, you know. But it doesn't really matter. They're all the same. They're just cut differently. So it's like, how would you do that, like on a jig? You know, like if you wanted to actually do that. This is probably not the best way to do that. Yeah, I kind of want to do it like this, and I kind of want to do it in two pieces. So I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. That's double the work. That's like another 30% more work though. Instead of having just one thing on the bottom, like for strength. Yeah. My brain is telling me to change it. It's like, what are you doing? Go and do your stuff. I don't even know why wavy girls were a thing. I'm not even really sure. They look cool. I don't know what like function they really serve though. I'm just gonna leave it for now. And on top of that, I'm just gonna make all these pieces one. I'm not gonna keep the target and targets or the tools. At least it'll be a little bit more simple looking. You can remove this because that was a tool. Let's see what all this looks like now. And we're going to put the opacity back up full. And that just looks funny. It should sit on top there too. If this was mine, I don't know. Have to make it and see if it actually sits in there nice. I would have my reservations about it not doing that. I would want it to fit like I would want it to pack down a little bit more, and I would even consider doing like that pie shape sort of thing, and then having maybe a post in the middle or something like that. And it's just pretty big. I do like the divider idea, so having a divider that goes right down the middle, and then that sits in there somehow. Maybe there's a couple things in the bottom. You could build a fire on one side and have indirect heat for the other side, or maybe even like a part of the box. That's the trouble about making it's not supposed to be a grill. I just wanted to do that for funsies, like for content, I guess. So turn off the grill, and it doesn't need a base, then that's pretty rad. But you know, making the grill, it's pretty cool idea, wavy grill. And then doing something straight is just as easy. It just has to be in two different levels. So you have your perimeter, and then it just goes all the way through. Even if I wanted to do these wavy, right? Like they're just it's just a continuation of it. So make them really long. It's the same thing. These would just extend into the next one. So at the very end, because these are all center lines, just don't trim them, and then do the same thing like I did before. They all line up. They all line up the same. They should be symmetrical, the swoopies anyways. And then it's just another swoopy. Except, you know, this one here is the same as this one on the other side. But now this whole piece is the same. I would say that all of these, like for a manufacturing aspect of it, I don't know if all those things would be made individually, or they would all be just the center length and they would be cut to size afterwards. They like literally just like welded in place, and then they just cut them off after. So cutting them off after might even just be more simple, depending on what the welding looks like. Because I think most of these grills are all the grating is all like resistance welded, like a spot weld sort of idea. So if there's just the two bars, one on top of another, put some pressure on it, put some electricity, and away you go. I mean, if I had a penny for every spot weld I taught, I'd have at least $1,000. Good old robotics. That was kind of fun, but it was a gungy job, and I didn't have the body to do it, just like snowboarding, unfortunately. Maybe I'll go back into it later in life if I ever get a little more fit. Working on that though. So we'll see. Alright, so we got the grill. Let's do a quick render, I guess. Render. Oh my goodness, my eyes. Sorry about that. 35. We have room lights. It's nice. A little bit nicer. Perspective on here. Yeah. Close. With a base. Base. Dum 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 dum. You put the grill in there, it's just like, oh look, I got this beautiful flat pack thing. It's got a base, and it's like ballin'. It's so silly. Like most people, like if it was me, I would probably just use expanded metal. You know, like it doesn't need to be anything crazier than that. I might actually go even further to, instead of just like the expanded metal, I would make the sides all the way around, like out of, yeah, actually maybe I should do that instead. So instead of the round bar, because the round bar sits in there really nice, it's tangent to that. Probably have to round off the corners just a little bit instead of those sharp corners. The wavy's kind of fine. It's really expensive though to actually do that. But if I was to change this, I would do a flat bar on the 60 degree, so that when I drop it in there, it's like flip, and it just sits in there, and it can't flop around at all. This can kind of flop around, but it's not going to go very far because this reduces in size each way on all the corners, so it's kind of like stuck in there regardless. Like it's stuck in there each direction. So if all these are in their kind of like correct spots, because this can kind of move around a little bit as far as the angles wise. So if you plant this thing down and the angles are good, it's not going to go anywhere. Like if it's stuck in the ground, and you plop that thing on top just to kind of get that right, give it a little shimmy, and that's it. That's all you need. So this thing here, we could do like a thing that goes like in the middle, and you could go from side to side, maybe, or two pieces, something like that, or just a box, like a box, just to do it offset. So you sweep up all this stuff into a box, and you kind of just let it sit there, or you just throw it off all on one side like a pizza oven, and that would having the grill flip up would be handy. But you can just like with maybe not a tool or something. Yeah, maybe just like with a tool, you could grab the whole grill and you just turn it like 30 degrees or something and just push it off to the side. You'd be able to sweep underneath and then just move everything back. So if you want to just have the fire on one side and you're cooking on the other, it'd be totally fine. Now, what about the top? So if you wanted to get crazy, what would a top for this thing look like? Right? So now you're going to get into the situation where it's not flat pack anymore. Even this is kind of like, well, this is pretty big. You're getting like out of the way of What would be the idea behind this? I guess is just to have something that's nice and flat that you can take camping with, and then it's just going to contain your fire, like so it doesn't go all over the place. You would bring this because you don't have any rocks, or you just want to have something that looks nice, something like that. But this has a considerable amount of weight, so you wouldn't be backpacking with this. Um, yeah, not you could make this thinner, like twice as thin, so half the weight, half as durable. So, but you don't do you really actually need the durability of that? So you shove it together and you sit there. It's still sheet metal. We could do some contours in the corners or something like that. Like an X in there, like a stamped X with the shear, something like that, to make these really rigid. You can kind of like how like a gas can looks, and to make these out of like fine sheet metal. So that's kind of another idea. All right, let's do a quick render on this bee hotch. Oh god, what have I done? Ridiculous. It's like the most ridiculous flat pack fireplace with a grill top. It's so silly. It really is. Oh man. Yes. All right, just want to make sure I still have a voice here. Oh, I love that the 42. 42 is such a great number. After that, it's all downhill. So, what do we do, Man, that is taking its sweet ass time. Why is it taking so much? It's usually excellent around 90. Is it my brain? This is gonna reset it. Yeah. Freaking junk. It's probably all these like little things in here in the light. That's what it is. It's wavies. The wavy screwed me. Well. Today's Sunday, right? I feel like I missed a day yesterday. It is blurry. Kind of looks funky. So the fire pit grill, the grill is not. I don't know. It's something else. But the flat pack fire pit portion of it is I think is really cool. And then you would want to make this out of, well, make it out of steel, but you won't want something that's ceramic coated if you're like want to keep it nice, or some I guess steel that doesn't want to like corrode too easy. I would say stainless, but stainless is pretty expensive. Although, you know, it might actually not be all that bad. What do people normally do? Is it ceramic coated? Let's go take a look. How to prevent fire pit from rusting? Usually they just rust away, especially if they're getting hot, you know. Rust is formed when iron is exposed to oxygen and water. How to prevent rust on your metal gas fire pit. Fire pit finishes. Plasma spider. Oh. Well, I don't need a light on now. Holy shit. So, okay. So I have a customer who has a pretty large budget to build a custom fire pit for. I'm trying to sell him on an all stainless version, but need to quote it a couple different ways in case it can't be sold stainless. Pretty open thread. Like what I hear are the best solutions. To get a really durable paint solution, I always use barbecue spray paint on my fire pit. With a powder coat, yeah, powder coat won't last long. You'd have to ceramic coat it like a set of headers. So, barbecue paint. Is anyone you see barbecue paint that comes in colors besides black? I've seen it. Yeah, it's like header paint. High temp paint. Yeah, Rust-Oleum makes a set. Oh, that's cool. Well, that's wonderful. Check out KBS Coatings, high temp. Yeah, 1200. That's the upper range for burning stuff. Throw some coal in there. It just has to be good enough. VHT, yeah, 2000 degrees. I've used that. Man, forums are such a good like treasure trove of information, aren't they? Just wonderful. Excellent. There we go. Let's take another spot here. Blam. Gonna save it. Where do I want to save this? 3D models. Designs, fab packs, fire pit, new flat pack, flat pack fire pit. With wavy grill. And I'm going to take off the grill and the base. And we're going to do that again, and it's going to go very quickly. It is taking a little bit longer. I wonder why that is. 70. No, it usually gets about 90, I think. It was alright. Doom, doom, doom. Oh, yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure that you need to put these together like all in one shot. So they need to, because it basically grows like an iris out and then down again. So you definitely need a couple people to put this together, if I'm not mistaken. That would make sense. Like if you try to pull one apart, it's gonna force the other sides apart, which forces the other ones apart, right? So you need to take the three pieces out at one time. These pieces here, this one, and this one, all have to come up at the same time, and then they move apart. Same with putting it together. And it locks together because of the taper. All right. Let's get this bad boy going here. Nice, nice, nice. Beautiful. And then the straight version, it doesn't matter. They just kind of fits together, no problem. Even if it was like just on a small angle, it would be okay, like 5-10 degrees. But when you're up like a 30-degree angle there, or 60, depending on how you look at it. So it's it's tip 30 from the center. Is it 30 or 60? Should I never remember. I forgot what I did. Anyways, it doesn't matter that much. Okay. So I got that. Save. And I go to design. Pretty straightforward. This one is particularly nice because we can change the height of things. Where's the height? Number of sides, spring height we're not using anymore. And height, right? So if this was 12 inches, I think it's probably okay, but if we wanted to do 16, would this break everything? It might. Let's see. No, it's fine. So then it gets it really big. I didn't have the angle adjustable, although I could. We could do that. Let's try that. Evaluate the sketches. Actually, these are this would be the construction planes, right? So plane at plane 2 and plane 3. No, plane 1 and plane 2. So edit. It's 120. So 90, which is straighty upsy downsies. So we're gonna do 25. This is gonna break. And so what was that? 10 and then 105, same thing. 105. So the two complementary angles there. I think that's right. And then it was the axis between the two. I'm looking at this upside down. Back, top, there we go. Yeah, everything broke. What does that look like? The first sketch there. It's probably really bad. Yeah. There we go. These will work out better. Yeah. This is the problem with not having endpoints developed. No, not that one. This is how you find out if your stuff is robust or not. Robust. Yeah, see, this one's crap too. So if you're not changing a bunch of stuff, all the numbering should be the same, and it should recover. So what is this one here? Yeah, so by doing that, it's changed something in here. So when this was, yeah, see, it lost its edge because it doesn't know where everything is now. Now that is actually another reason. So the base doesn't have anywhere to go. So this actually needs to be larger, like 18. No, 17. So try that. That's better, and everything fixes. Go to the end. So that 105 that we did here, we could have that based on the angle, but these things are going to keep on breaking because they're the wrong size essentially. So this was like it's a good way to do it once, but maybe it's a bad way to do it so that it's fully parametric. So we could figure out another way to do that for show. So I'm gonna go back though, because I like the way it was before. I just wanted to show you. I go forward a little bit, and we're gonna call it right there. So thank you very much if you've tuned in today. I'm gonna move this stuff here. All my stuff is gonna break. That's the fire pit. The fun little fire pit will make it. Notice how like I was doing the undo button, but the height didn't actually change. Yeah, it's because of that. Parameters are outside, kind of like sitting outside the model of sorts. Okay. So now that we have that, the two things that we need to do. So for the panel 1 and panel 2, we could. These are components, we can make them as that. So under like this sort of thing, so the pan bottom, pan top, we could just say, okay, we're gonna go on this, and that's gonna be the DXF, and then we do the same thing with this one here. Do that, and that's gonna be the DXF, and you literally just export it from there. Or we could convert it to sheet metal and have a flat pattern, which is kind of nice too. There's no bends in it, but you still get all the stuff from the flat pattern. So like it's built into the system. So just showing you this real quick. Panel bottom, right? Sheet metal, create, convert to sheet metal. So 125, right? And then you just go to sheet metal, create flat pattern, select the side that you want, and then it just creates it. There's nothing to bend, but it's still a flat pattern. So you can make drawings, you can just bring this up again, like whatever you want to do with it. So it creates all its own stuff. and then it makes it into sheet metal. And then same thing for this one. So you do that there, convert it to sheet metal, same thing. And then create flat pattern for this on that outside face. That's what that is, and then you're done. That's that. And then yeah, you can make drawings. You can export the flat pattern. You can actually go right to here. If you activate this, you can export the flat pattern right there instead of exporting the actual sketch. Both ways work. You can choose your export, and you can also, which is what I really like, you can convert, like if there's splines and stuff in here, which I don't think there is, but this might be. You can change this into lines and arcs, which is really powerful. So I don't remember using any splines and stuff in there, so it should be okay. But if that was curved, that would be something different. So as far as that goes, a little bit of something there. So yeah, oh, thank you DIY all the things for the follow. Really appreciate that. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, I'm just ending the stream here. I got this finished today. Just playing around with some Fusion. Just going through stuff. Whole bunch of different like ways to design things. And I wanted to make this anyway, so I chose this as the subject matter. I don't know how long you've been here, but we made the wavy grill. I think I might have gone too far on this one. Let me see here. I did some undoing. Yeah. 13 minutes from the house. Terrible connectivity on the phone. You're not getting a single bit of your stream, but I've been fighting with Fusion 360 on Linux for about a month. I'd like to ask you some questions when I get home. Yeah, that's bad timing. I'm sorry about that. I will be, if you stream or something else. I can definitely hop in your stuff, if that's what you do. I can come and hang out for a little bit. Why did this do that? See, now I want to see. It's an investigation. Because those things aren't here on the other spot. Right? Oh. They are. Okay. Let's redo that. Ooh, Fusion's all broken. Okay. Alright, we'll get out of that. And we'll get out of this one here. Oh my goodness, my eyes. Let me see here. If you have a videos and stuff like that. Oh yeah. Oh cool. Yeah, I'll give you a follow. Right on, right on. Okay. That sounds great. I'm gonna bring this back up again. I did a angled, yeah, and I did the adjustable one too. Is this one? Is this the first? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, I copied the one into the other, and then I did. I modified it so I could change the angle. Just going back like 2 hours. Like, what did I do that for? So, try the angle. Yeah. So the grill, is it still broken? Oh, it is broken. Why is that broken? Oh man, it's so strange to me sometimes. Fusion doesn't like to do its. It doesn't like to do its thing sometimes, you know. So I have this off. It's the first two. I don't need any of that stuff on yet either. It does not like sometimes. It does not like. Turn the bass off. Put a bass. Okay, which one is this here? The center, oh. Maybe that's the reason. Outside. Which one is this one here? Yeah. So this one's good. And then I copied it and then moved it, and it did not like that. So in this feature, this is not the same. So this copy and paste is not from here. Delete. Let's it went back to the original configuration. That's crazy. So we'll delete this, and we'll have to delete the other one as well. The wow, it's like it lost its actual thing. Let me see if I can go back a couple versions here. Would it be? Let's open up this one. Okay, it looks like it lost it maybe on the 6. Don't save. Don't save. And the V6 for the grill is good. I'm going to resave this one. Yeah, so when I was doing the angle testing, that's it lost its idea. I want to save this as current or latest. Yep, that's good. Something I can post on the social medias today, something like that. Alrighty. I'm really surprised because I'm in a dark room and I can still see my it's still showing up not too bad. You can tell that the camera is just trying its best to try and show me the best it possibly can, because there's no light in here. It's so funny. All I have is the light from the 2 screens. So, well, 3 screens. There's a TV behind me too. Yeah. Okay. So thanks very much. I really appreciate you hanging out. If you end up streaming, I'll drop by your stream. Just give me, I don't know, a half hour or so. I need to take a little break, and yeah, I'll come in there and try and help you if I can, or maybe hang out on Discord or something. So absolutely. Everybody else, thank you very much. I appreciate you hanging out. Yeah, I'll be probably streaming again tomorrow. I have other stuff to make. Maybe further this, put this on the website, so anybody can pick this up if they want it. And yeah, maybe work on the grill, or like a barbecue sort of idea that flat packs up together, or something that's like that. I'm kind of just going by the seat of my pants with all this stuff, so I'm just having some fun with it. Yeah, trying to contribute to the DIY maker community, or people that got like laser cutters and stuff, or just want to build their own stuff. You know, there's a lot of garbage out there, and it's easy just to make your own stuff that's extremely robust, that lasts forever, and that you made it and you can tell your friends about it and all that.